Hi everybody, this is Nick from Saberz.com, and what we're looking at here is, of course, our beautiful Project 01 replica and an original prop. This one happens to be from Star Wars Episode 2, The Clone Wars, but it's actually based off of the metal hero prop from Star Wars Episode 1. And there are a couple of tells around the prop that let us know this. One of the primary ones is this front window right here. You can see that this side of the cutout comes out just a bit lower and with a slightly more open presentation to the viewer than this side of the cut. And that's how we can distinguish this particular prop, which was machined for Episode 1. The reason for the video today is because this replica of ours, the Project 01, has caused more upset and really anger, I would say, than maybe anything else we've ever produced. So we launched our Duel of the Fates trilogy with the Darth Maul, the Qui-Gon Jinn, and the Obi-Wan replicas, and generally they were extremely well-loved and well-received, and there's been a lot of great comments on them. But this saber in particular has made people really, really upset. And just recently we've seen a couple of comments about one of the features here, the grooves, that I'm gonna get to. But I'm not sure why this saber in particular makes people so upset. Or they'll say things like, hey, this is a stunt saber, so how can he possibly be claiming that it's an accurate replica when the hero saber may be so much different? And this is a stunt saber, but first of all, it's based on the hero and is a very, very good representation of the original hilt from which this mold was made. And second, it's not our only reference. This is a fantastic tool to be able to look all around the saber in the real world in 3 dimensions to see lots of little things. For example, see this transition right here from this beveled edge to this area of the saber. So there you can see that on that beveled step down to the cylindrical area beneath the grips is not a perfect meet. There is an ever so tiny vertical step of about 0.2 of a millimeter that goes from the beveled edge to the cylindrical edge. And so we're able to really take a look at that in really fine detail up close with a reference like this and pull out details that we couldn't necessarily pull out from images alone. But again, it's not our only reference. It's just our primary physical reference, and it is indeed molded from the hero saber, so it's an excellent reference. All those kinds of little things that we're replicating from the hero, and we're using this physical reference as best we can, but it's not our only reference. And it's still a very, very good one. Now, recently we saw some comments about these emitter grooves and how we have just so obviously messed these up because they must be far too deep. The original prop could not have had grooves this deep, certainly. And in fact it does. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on here, and then we're going to go take a look at the original prop. Now, the one thing that will be different between this and the stunt hilt down here is that because the stunt hilt is a molded part, then on these undercut areas where there is a wall above the grooves, those will be filled in completely because the plastic in the mold just gets underneath and makes it impossible for the mold to recreate that particular groove 360 degrees around. But on the opposite side where it's clear and there's no undercut, you'll see that the grooves are identical. So first I'll pick this one up and then I'll do my best to put them side by side. Okay, so the tricky part is that when you're looking dead on, you can't really properly gauge the depth of those grooves. As you start to rotate the saber, you'll see that those grooves are as deep as we can see them when we're rotated like this. So if you're just looking visually, the first thing you'll see when we rotate is not the depth of the groove, but the next silver tine. You'll see the underside of this silver tine as it starts to broach the horizon. So that's what you're seeing there. I'm trying to just give you the best view that I can, but those grooves are indeed quite deep. And rather than just guess, we just took plunge depth measurements all around the hilt. So let me go grab my calipers and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so here we go. If we take a set of calipers and take a plunge depth measurement. Okay, we take a plunge depth reading. We have about 3.85. Now that's just one. We took a couple dozen all around the hilt. When you go over here to Project 01, when you go over here, take a plunge depth measurement. Okay, 3.81. So that was just two, blind measurements out of nowhere, and we got within 4/100ths of a millimeter. So again, it's real tricky because when you look at these like this, the fact that this side, the opposite side with the undercut, does not show grooves gives you the false impression that they're maybe shallower than they really are. But suffice it to say, we took an extremely long time getting all of the measurements with extreme levels of care. We went through 3 different tools on our knurling tooling, which is not a cheap thing to do, to get the exact right matching knurling pattern. And as far as I know, we were the first ones to ever do so. So, I mean, this is an evolving art form, sabers. I do believe that this is by far the most accurate that we've ever made, certainly. And to this day, it's definitely the most accurate FX-capable hilt on the market. This right here has a NeoPixel install, and all of our Duel of the Fates hilts are capable of that, or they can sit on the shelf and just be beautiful replicas. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. But my advice is to maybe take it easy a little bit. You don't have to get so angry over these things. There's not so much at stake here. They're just prop replicas. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.